Hey everyone, the rapid rise of Nvidia stock has surprised many stock market investors. Some who are new to Nvidia stock are asking where the stock price could go from here. Is there room to go higher, or is it too much too fast? Well, I'm going to answer in this video where I think Nvidia stock price will be by the end of the year 2027. So I'm going to make a stock price prediction for Nvidia stock using several critical financial metrics and explaining and showing you where I'm getting all of the numbers to make this stock price prediction. So let's get started. Hey everyone, I wanted to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video. Moomoo is a trading platform that allows individuals to buy and sell stocks and other investments. I posted the link to Moomoo in the description below. If you use that link to sign up to Moomoo, it'll help support my channel, but more importantly, you can get special incentives for using my link, including up to extra 10 free stocks. All right, one of the numbers I'm going to need to make my stock price prediction is Nvidia's forward price to earnings ratio. As of this recording, Nvidia is trading at a forward PE of 35.72. Now, this metric has fluctuated over the last several years, and this metric of 35.72 is on the higher end of where its forward PE has been ever since the big decrease in the forward PE ratio in 2022. Now, those fluctuations were a result of Nvidia's fluctuating earnings expectations and fluctuating earnings as the rise of artificial intelligence really started to take hold in 2023. So in 2022, the business was not yet thriving as well as it's doing right now. So if you exclude those moments here in 2022 and you just look at the forward PE ratio since then, it's on the higher end of where this metric has been. The next number I'm going to need is Nvidia's current share price. As of this recording, it's trading at $130 per share, and you can see the rapid rise of Nvidia's stock price since 2023, jumping from around $20 per share all the way up to $130 per share. Of course, I'm happy about that result. I've placed Nvidia stock on my list of top stocks to buy for 2024, and I made that recommendation on December 30th. All right, I'm also going to need Nvidia's earnings per share expectations over the next several years. So for the current year, which is 2025 for Nvidia is in its fiscal year 2025. The current estimate is that it will deliver earnings per share of $2.50. Now that's down from 7 days ago where analysts on Wall Street expected its earnings per share to come in at $2.71. These figures of 30, 60, and 90 days ago are 10 times larger because these numbers were on a pre-split basis. Remember, Nvidia implemented a 10-for-1 stock split, and when you split your stock, you also reduce the earnings per share by the same magnitude. So if you have a 10-for-1 stock split, your earnings per share decrease by 10 times, so from $27 to $2.70. This decrease in earnings per share expectations was the first in some time for Nvidia. For the last several months, analysts on Wall Street that have been following Nvidia stock have been raising higher and higher their earnings per share expectations for Nvidia. And the decrease in the last 7 days was a bit surprising considering the momentum and continued increase in Nvidia's earnings per share. Now, I'm also going to need Nvidia's earnings per share expectations over the next 5 years so that I can make my prediction of where Nvidia's earnings per share will be in 2028. Because I'm using the forward price to earnings, I need the earnings per share in 2028 to make my prediction for 2027. If it seems complicated to you, don't worry, I'm going to show you my financial model where I'm making all of those predictions and the numbers and the inputs so that it can be a little clearer. So as of this recording, 42.82% is Wall Street's estimate for where they think Nvidia's earnings per share will grow over the next 5 years. These are the analysts on Wall Street that are following Nvidia stock, And this is the consensus estimate, meaning some analysts may think its growth is going to be higher. Some might think it's going to be lower. This is the consensus among those analysts that are following Nvidia stock. All right, now that we have our inputs, we can go to the financial model. As I highlighted, Nvidia's earnings per share expectations of $2.50 for 2025. That's where I have that $2.50 here. And the growth rate that I took from Yahoo Finance from the Wall Street analyst of 42.82% is the growth rate I will apply to Nvidia's earnings per share of $2.50 in 2025. I applied that growth rate for 3 years to get the earnings per share of $7.28 for 2028. Now, I can draw your attention to the right-hand side of this model where I've brought over the $7.28 EPS for 2028. I've multiplied that with the forward PE multiple of 35.72 that I got from Y charts in this model. So when I multiply those two together, I get an estimated stock price of $260 per share by the end of 2027. So if everything goes as expected right now, with the same forward PE multiple and the same earnings per share expectations, then Nvidia's stock price could rise to $260 per share by the end of 2027. So that would be a doubling of its current share price of $130 per share. I think Nvidia stock investors would be happy with that result, doubling from its already elevated valuations. However, things could go much better. If the forward PE rises to 40, then Nvidia's stock price could increase to $291 per share. But there's also a downside. If Nvidia's forward PE were to decrease to 28, the stock price could rise, but only to $203 per share. And in the worst case I've modeled here, Nvidia's forward PE falling to 20, the stock price could rise to $145 per share, which would be roughly 10% above where it's currently trading at today. So even in the worst case scenario I've modeled here, Nvidia's stock price would be increasing over the next few years. But that doesn't mean there aren't even worst case scenarios. There could be much worse case than I've modeled here, and there could be much better case than I've modeled here. I've just pulled 4 scenarios for your informational purposes. Now, what are the factors that would cause the forward PE ratio to increase? One of the factors would be Nvidia meaningfully taking greater market share and keeping it in the AI market. Right now, AI and Nvidia is the most dominant player. Some estimates suggest it has over 80% market share of the data center artificial intelligence development. If Nvidia holds that market share over these next several years, then the forward PE could be much higher. There is a lot of estimates suggesting that Nvidia is going to lose some of that market share because competition is ramping up. There are chip developments from several players that are aiming to take market share. Now, I will admit those players are behind Nvidia, but they will likely gain some market share because those buyers of the Nvidia chips will want some diversification. They'll want to diversify away from Nvidia's chips. So those other players that are now building new chips to compete with Nvidia, they would really have to fumble over these next 3 years to not make any headway into the market. So if they really fumble, if everybody else really fumbles, or if Nvidia really demonstrates a significant lead over everyone else, then the forward PE multiple could rise further. What would cause Nvidia's forward PE multiple to fall? A few factors. One of the most notable factors would be a significant decrease in data center investment. As of the last year and a half, the big hyperscalers like Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, Oracle, and others are building billions and billions of dollars of new data centers to enhance their AI capabilities. If after these 1 to 3 years of big investment for data centers is to drop off meaningfully over the next couple of years, let's say in 2027, these companies announce, you know what, we've invested enough in artificial intelligence. It's been a lot. We're going to kind of slow down. We're going to kind of consolidate and see what we have and optimize what we've built so far. That decrease in spending on data center for artificial intelligence could be bad news for Nvidia. So those are the give and takes here, the upside and the downside for Nvidia's forward PE multiple. All that being said, where do I think is the most likely outcome for Nvidia's stock price by the end of 2027? I think the most likely stock price is somewhere in the range of $250 per share to $275 per share, providing nice upside from its current share price of $130 per share. Thank you for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. I know there's a lot you could be doing with your time and a lot of other videos you could be watching. So I truly appreciate that you chose to watch this one. If you want to see more videos just like this, hit the subscribe or the like button. They'll both help me make more videos just like this one. Thank you again.